Hi folks, this is Karim Raouf from IT Visualizer channel. Today we will continue our lab, the transformers. This is my 25th video. Sorry for the mistake. I have recorded my previous video as to be my 26th video. It should be the 25th, but to rectify this error I will make this video to be the 25th video. Okay, so today we will discuss a new issue in our lab, the transformers. Today we will begin to set up something called the captive portal option. This is an option to be added to the Pfsense firewall. It's normally what it does, that you if you want to access the internet, you will get a login page that contains a username and a password. As long as you put the username and the password, so you can access the internet. So is the username and the password your Active Directory user account and password? This can be done, or you can create a local user on the Pfsense firewall. For example, you access the firewall and then create a local user account on the Pfsense firewall system. As I said before, it's working on a system called FreeBSD system. This is a Linux distribution system, so you can make a local user on the firewall, okay, with a username and a password, and then you can take this password and access the internet with it. Okay, so today we will discuss how to access the internet through the portal page or the captive portal, and with using a local username and password created on the Pfsense firewall system. We will not use the Active Directory username and account. This will be another lesson or another video, but today we will know how to use the captive portal with to access the internet with using or through using a username and a password created on the Pfsense firewall itself. So we can now discuss our video, but before that I need to show you the scenario that we will work with. First of all, let me show you how the portal page will appear. If we open here, and this portal page, it's a page that it is like a template. You can get it from the internet. I will show you the URL, so you can get this login page to be as your default, or to use it when logging into the internet. Okay, you can change this page or put different backgrounds or different layout, but this is a pre-made page. If you know some HTML programming or HTML language and some web design, you can use something of your own. Okay, let's see here. Here is the page that will appear for you after we finish our configuration. This will be the login page. Okay, you will have here a username and the password. After you put your username and password and then agree, here you have to log in, then he will log in to the internet. You can change this logo and change this background. Everything can be changed from here. Okay, as I said before, I'll give you the login, the URL for this template, so you can download it and use it. It will be in the transformers folder, which will be in a Google Drive link under the description of the video. So here, let's discuss something before going further. Here is the scenario. I need to show you all something here. Okay, here we have our, sorry, I need to, here, okay, here we have the firewall. Okay, and there is, here is, so let me show you all. It is, this is an interface, and this is an interface. Okay, here is the Pfsense firewall. We have two network cards on it. One of them is the WAN. Let me have it more clear. sorry, little. Here we have the WAN interface. Okay, let's get it here. This is the WAN, and this is the LAN interface. Okay, and this is the Pfsense. Okay, let's go over like this. Okay, so here is the Pfsense firewall. It contains two network cards. One is for the WAN, which is wide area network. This card is connected to the internet. Okay, so the firewall goes out to the internet through this network card, which is wide area network. This is connected to our ISP provider that gives us the internet connection, and this is the LAN, which is our local area network. Here on this side, this is our servers here. Let's have a little bit of a demonstration. Here we have our servers. Okay, and here work stations. Okay, let's get a little bit further. Okay, so here for the servers and workstation to go to the internet, okay, we need to, or they will talk to the LAN network card on the firewall. Okay, to go to the internet, the server will connect or talk to the network card that it is the LAN network card on the firewall, and then the LAN interface will direct it to the WAN interface to go to the internet. Okay, here is the internet. Let's go here and look at more further. Internet. Okay, so here the servers, to go to the internet, you need to talk to the LAN network card on the firewall, and then the LAN network card will route it or redirect it to the WAN interface, which is connected to internet, and then it can go to the internet or the outside internet world. Okay, in this scenario we will create another interface. Okay, here we will call it, okay, just a minute, we'll call it here GWN. okay, this is a third network card. Here, for example, if you have a guest visiting your office and he wants to get to the internet, of course, for a security point, you will not connect him to your local network. Okay, so you will not connect him from here. So you not put the laptop here and connect through, for example, you will not get a network cable and plug this laptop, which is an outside PC. We don't know the security, or we don't know the antivirus situation, or also you don't need him to access your network shares and information. So you will not plug him, or you will not take a cable and put him or your LAN network, okay, to access the internet. So we will make another network card and call it guest wireless network. From here we will put the laptop. Okay, so from here you can, for example, here is the laptop, he will go there. and here we will have the okay, here is the laptop guest. Okay, so here if your guest visiting your office wants to access to internet, you don't have to put him on your local area network or take a cable and he can access your office network. Let's say this is my office local area network. So you not put him or you not put your laptop here and connect through your office local area network, so because this is a security issue, and make him see your shares, and if the laptop contains a virus, he will infect your network. So now we will make another third interface and we will call this guest wireless network. Okay, so here the guest, if he wants to access the internet, all you have to do is to open his Wi-Fi, okay, and then we will connect to the wireless network, or will connect to the guest wireless network interface on the firewall, and then the guest wireless network card will redirect him to the internet. Of course, if you have this will affect your total bandwidth, because if you have users in your office and your guests are using the same internet connection, there will be a lot of traffic, okay, or a lot of internet bandwidth consuming. But if you have more than one WAN, if you have two, for example, another another wide area network, or you have two ISP providers or two internet connections, you can make one for your office local area network and one for your guest wireless network. But here, as for the scenario of the lab, what we will do, that we will create another or we'll add another network card, and we will call it guest wireless network. Okay, and then we will configure it so that any guest from outside your office, when he wants to connect to internet, he will see a wireless network with this name, okay, so he can connect to it, and then he will get up to the internet through this guest wireless network card, which is completely separated from your office local area network. This is a completely different one. It is separated from your office local area network, okay, and this will have a different setting and completely separated, so it is secure. The guest will not be able to see your servers and workstations, shares, and critical information. So this is a completely safe thing to do. Just the guest will see his the guest wireless network, he will connect, and then the firewall will redirect him to the internet WAN interface. And here we will, on this interface, okay, we will make DHCP. We will set up a DHCP. We will make the firewall okay, give IP addresses. This laptop will get an IP address from the firewall through this interface, and also we will, on this interface, we will make our captive portal. So here is the scenario. If this guest connect to the wireless network, guest network, as soon as he opens his browser, he will get the captive portal asking for a username and password, which we will give the guest, okay. So after he get the username and the password, as soon as he put it in the captive portal, as I show you from a couple of minutes, he will get, before that, when he open his laptop, he will get an IP address from the DHCP, and after that the captive portal will appear for him asking for a username and a password, which we will give him. As soon as he puts the username and the password and accept the agreement or the license agreement, he will go to the internet. This interface will redirect him to the internet. As I said before, if you have two internet connections or two WAN interfaces, this is better to make your office local area on one WAN interface and the other guest wireless network on another or the second WAN interface. Okay, so here we will create another our third interface. We will configure the HTTP captive portal and a couple of things to be done. Okay, so here let's begin our video. So here first of all we need to create the guest network. Before doing this, we need to take a backup from the firewall. This is a precaution, because if I'm changing something critical, I am just taking a backup of the Pfsense virtual machine. It's a snapshot is like taking a backup, and this is also best practice. If you are working in a virtual environment, you need to take frequent snapshots from all of your virtual machines. Okay, so here we will name this snapshot as before guest internet network interface. So we will take a snapshot, and after that we need to go to the network setting for the VM Workstation Pro software. As I said before, if you are creating for example, if you are working on the Hyper-V, if you are working with the Hyper-V virtual environment, if you want to make some or to have a network, for example, if I want to now to create a guest network card, I need first, before creating or putting a network card on the firewall, I need to create the guest network. I give it the range. For example, our range will be for the guest network, it will be 192.168.3.0. this will be the network /24. This will be the network range. So I need to go to the VM Workstation Pro network setting and create this network range. Okay, give it a name and give it an interface. For example, we will create it and name it guest network interface. We will get it the IP range and the subnet mask, and we will assign it to a network card. Okay, it will be, for example, VM5. And after doing all of this, we will go to the firewall and insert this network card. We will see this. If you can just hold with me for a second, you will see what I mean, or what I am referring to. Just wait a couple of minutes and see. So here we will see that our snapshot is taken. So here we can see that we have two network cards. VMnet4, this is for the WAN or for the internet, and VMnet1 is for the office network LAN. Okay, so here we will create a third network, which will be the guest network. You have to click on change setting, and then we will create a new network. We will tell him add network and assign one of them. We can take number 5. Okay, and then our guest network will be with the range. Just a minute. Here we will go to this. Okay, we will uncheck use local DHCP. Okay, and we will check connect a host virtual adapter in this network, and there here will be the range of our guest network. Sorry, it will be 10.0.0.0. this is the range, and this is the subnet mask 255.255. Okay, this will be on VMnet5. Okay, remember this because we will add it to the firewall now. Okay, so we have created the guest network, and we have disabled local DHCP service because we will make the firewall as a DHCP. You can use this option to make the VM Workstation Pro software to be as a DHCP, but we will not use this option. So now we have our VMnet5, or our virtual machine network 5. This will be our guest network. Okay, so we need to add this network card to the firewall. I think it's paused. Just a minute. Okay, so now we have already created our guest network with the range that we need. So here we will go to the Pfsense virtual machine and add the third network adapter. Okay, which will be add and then network adapter. Okay, it will be custom here, specific virtual network. We will connect to VMnet 5. Okay, this is our guest network. So now we will power on the firewall, and then we'll begin configuring this third network card interface to make it as a DHCP and give it an IP address. For sure we will give this network card a static IP address. Okay, and then we will make this network card a DHCP. We will activate the DHCP option on this network card, so any guest coming to your office, he will connect, he will take an IP address from this guest network interface and he will get to the internet. But before that, he will get a captive portal login page asking for a username and the password. After he provides the username and the password, he can be able to access the internet. So we will see how this is done, because there is some configuration to be done. We will see how this is done. So now, as we can see, that the third interface, we have two, the WAN and the LAN. The third interface didn't appear yet, so we need to configure it. We will open our domain controller and connect to the firewall through the browser and begin configuring the third network card, or the third interface, which will be our guest wireless network interface. So now we will log into the domain controller with our domain admin account. So now we will open the browser and connect to the firewall. So here we'll access the firewall with my Active Directory user account. As I said before, as for the successful integration with the firewall and the Active Directory, you can access the firewall with your Active Directory user account. This is done in a previous video. Please return to it if you need to know how this is done. So here we will add the new interface. Here we can see that it is up and running. Here we can get a little bit. Okay, just a moment. Okay, just a moment. Here we can see that our interface appears here in the firewall. It is sorry, no, this is no, still the interface. This is for our office local area network. Okay, this is still the two interfaces, one for the WAN and one for the LAN. This is for the IP version 4 DHCP and the IP version 4 6 and 4. Still we need to add the third interface, so we know how this is done in a moment. Interface, we need to assignment here. Here, as we see, just a minute, we can see here that there is the network card that we have added. This is the MAC address for it. Okay, we have two interfaces. This is the WAN for the internet interface, and this is for the LAN for our office network interface, and this is the available or the new network card that we have added. We will add it and give it a name. Now it is named. Okay, by default the Pfsense names this interface optional interface or OPT1. Okay, this is the name that is given to the secondary LAN interface or second WAN. Okay, this is an optional called OPT, optional one. Okay, so here we have added the interface. It's now recognized by the firewall. We need to do some firewall rules. We will see that now in a moment, because until now we have added this interface. We need to activate the DHCP on it, and then we need to make two rules on the firewall to allow the traffic to be taken from this interface to the WAN. So the firewall needs to pass the traffic from this interface to the WAN interface, so all of the guests can be able to access the internet. And also we need to enable any traffic to come from the laptop or the guest to this interface to allow it to be transferred. Okay, or the port to be opened. Okay, because by default every traffic from to or out to this interface will be blocked. So you need to make two rules, one for the outbound traffic and one for the inbound traffic. Okay, so here we can see that here is the configuration. We will make it as static IP. Should be a static IP. Actually I've in the first time, or no, this is not correct. We should not do this. Just a moment. Sorry for the interruption. Actually it took me a little bit of time until I recognized that I can or know the correct configuration. Here for the IP version 4 we need to make a static IP address and then give this interface an IP. It will be 10.0.0.10. This will be the IP of the guest network card on the firewall, but actually this is the wrong option. I will correct it later, so don't take this configuration. This is because I said before I was just discovering this option for the first time, so there is some trial and errors. Okay, and we will change this name to GWN. Or GNW. Okay, let's see, animate this one. Okay, I think I will pass this option. Just a minute. Remove all of this should not be taken into consideration. Okay, let's see now. I think I will do it. No. Save. Okay, we'll not do this. Okay. Okay, we need to make it as a static IP address just for a moment. Because I said before this is not the correct option, I think we will uncheck advanced configuration. I need just to pass it quickly because this is not the correct one. Okay, no, still I need to get you directly to the interface. After you make the configuration, you need to check the interface enable or check enable interface after you do the configuration, but still I think there is a problem. Okay, I just need you to get the correct configuration. Okay, sorry, pass all of this. Okay, so here no gateways. Okay, pass all of this, pass all of this, pass all of this, pass all of this. Okay, pass all of this also. Okay, so here we will return back to the configuration of the GNW interface. As I said before, you should not use DHCP. We will make it as a static IP. Okay, and then give the interface an IP which will be 10.0.0.10. This will be the interface IP. So as I said before, normally if you create a new interface on the Pfsense firewall, all the traffic inbound and outbound will be blocked. So you need to make two firewalls to enable the outbound traffic to the WAN interface and the inbound traffic to the interface itself. So the guest, when connects to the wireless network, he can able to communicate with the guest network interface in the firewall, and then the guest network interface itself can communicate with the WAN interface. So this is for the WAN and for the LAN interface. So we will make two firewall rules. We will add. Okay, and then we should in this protocol make any. Here, okay, this is the rule to enable any traffic from any port to any destination to any port through any gateway. Okay, but here we need to make it IP version 4, not TCP protocol, all protocols, and the source to be the guest network interface. Okay, so this need to be changed. Okay, the source will be the guest network interface, and all of the protocols from the guest network interface through all of the IP version 4 protocol from the guest network interface through any port, through any destination, to any destination port, through any gateway. Okay, this is the first rule. We need to make it, but we will make the changes now. As we see here, I am just seeing my office local area network. There is one for the IP version 4. Here it says that any traffic from IP version 4 protocol through the LAN network, okay, through any port, through to any destination port, through any gateway, queue none, this is all allow. This is one for IP version 4 and one for IP version 6. We need to do the same in the guest network interfaces. So we make this for the version 4, I make one for the version 6, and then here we will we should change the source to guest network. We will see that now how this is done. I'm just typically seeing what is done through the firewall, because I said before, if you didn't do any firewall rules, any traffic to the interface and out of the interface will be blocked. You need to open traffic from the interface and to the interface, because from the interface to the WAN it need to be opened, and from the laptop or the guest laptop to the this interface should be allowed. So here, sorry, we need to I think now we need to, okay, I will here create the firewall, okay, rule, but sorry, this is not correct. I need not all of this, sorry. We will go more further, sorry. I will get you to the correct one. Okay, just a minute. I need to go to, okay, here we go. No, this is not correct also. I will show you how this is done. Okay, sorry. Here we go. Okay, here. No, this is not correct. Okay, so here we will see that we need to make, okay, the source to be the guest network guest network, which means this is the network. Here we make, just for a moment, here we need to make the source to be any traffic from IP version 6. We need to get off this TCP, and IP version 4 also we get this TCP. The source will be guest network wireless network, guest network wireless network. Any traffic from the guest wireless network will be passed. We need to get off these two, it's not correct. We will need also to get TCP and TCP out. We will see that how this is done also. I will get off, let me show you how to get it off. We will change it. Okay, sorry, get it off, just a minute. So here we will give it a description. Actually we will get off these two rules, I don't need them. We need only these two rules to be done. It's allow, this will give it a description. Allow GNW network IP version 4 rule. Okay, and then we will make the other one. IP version 6. Okay, so now we have two rules, but we need to get the TCP. We need to obey all of the protocols. Okay, I'm just copying it or doing the same. So we need to get off this TCP and TCP. We'll see how this is done. So you can see here the source network is LAN network and the protocol is any. So I need to go to do this in the GNW. edit, and then we will change the protocol to any, and the source to be GNWnet. Okay, here we will make the protocol to any, sorry, just a moment, and here the source will be the GNW guest network wireless network. Okay, so we'll make, here we go, we'll make this rule. So here we will allow any traffic from the IP version 4, any protocol from the IP version 4 from the source, which is the guest network wireless network, to any, from any port on the source to any destination, to any port on the destination, to get out. This will allow the communication between the laptop or the guest client to the this interface. And then we'll make another one, okay, on the WAN interface. This will be done automatically as we create the interface. Another rule will be put on the WAN to allow traffic from this interface to the WAN interface. So actually we have three rules. The first rule is to allow traffic from the guest to this interface through IP version 4 and IP version 6, so the guest can communicate with this interface or guest to network wireless interface. And then on the WAN interface or the internet interface, we need to enable it to communicate with the guest network card, the one that we have done now. Okay, we'll delete these two, we don't need them. Actually this, if you can see, this rule is to allow to connect to the firewall through IP address. Okay, this is to allow you can connect to the firewall with this IP address through HTTP and HTTPS, port 80 and port 443. You can do this in the network guest network interface, but I will not do it. I don't need to access the firewall through this interface. Okay, let's go more further. So here we can see, just a minute, we will delete these two rules, I don't need them. Okay, so now here on the WAN, okay, we have two rules. This to allow traffic from the guest or from the laptop to this interface on the firewall, but we need another rule to make this interface communicate with the WAN interface. Just a minute, we will bypass this way, I don't need all of this. So here, just a minute, sorry, I will pass all of this. So here we will go to the captive portal and begin creating the captive portal. So let's recap. We will first create the interface and then assign the interface an IP and a name. Okay, but actually it is not still done yet because I have configured it as DHCP. This is not correct. We need to create the interface and give it a name and then give it a static IP address and then enable the DHCP on this interface. Okay, and then make two firewall rules to allow traffic from any guest or from any client to this interface through IP version 4 and IP version 6. And then by default, when you create this interface, a firewall or the WAN interface will be created, so when the guest connect to the guest network interface, it can redirect the traffic to the WAN interface through the firewall, so he can get to internet. So I need two rules, one on the guest network LAN interface and on the WAN interface, so he can communicate with the LAN interface first, and then the LAN interface will communicate with the WAN interface, so he can get to the internet. Okay, we will see this. I know it's a little bit overcomplicated, but we will see this practically when all of this is done. So we will add portal, and this is Wi-Fi internet. portal. And save and continue. Actually you don't there is no spaces, and you need it to be you can put underscore, but there is no spaces to be done, or you don't have to make spaces. Okay. Okay, here you go. You need to enable DHCP on the new interface that we have done. We will do this in a moment. And also we have to put a DNS record in the DNS resolver on the firewall. We will see this in a moment. Don't worry about what is the DNS resolver. This is the DNS the firewall uses to query the internet, or to resolve the websites from names to IP address. Okay. Here after that we will have to check enable captive portal. Okay, so now we will put it on the guest interface. Here is the idle timeout. We will get off the internet after how much time. So here we'll make an idle timeout of 5 minutes, and hard timeout for 120. What this means, sorry, we can get one little bit further. Sorry, we will enable, and then here to we will make it on the guest network wireless. Okay, here is the idle timeout. He will get you out of or log off you out of the internet after 5 minutes. Okay, or if you were connected more than 120 minutes, he will disconnect you anyway after 120 minutes. This is if you don't have any activity on the internet. So this is the idle timeout. This is the hard timeout. If you were working for example 100 or 2 hours, he will disconnect you even if you are on the internet. The idle timeout, when you are not making any activity on the internet, he will connect you after the time you specify here. And here it is he will get you out of the internet anyway. If you are even connected and working, he will get you out after the time here you specify. Here this is the page that will appear for the user after putting the username and the password on the portal page. You can put any page you like. For example, if you have your company website or your hotel website, you can put the website here. If you don't have, you can put the default value which is written here. Okay, in the video you will see, in the upcoming video you will see that I will use this to put my transformers website. So after the user put the username and the password in the portal page, he will redirect it to the transformers page or website. Here we will use the authentication method. As I said before, we will create a username and a password on the firewall. So here we will choose local database. If you have an Active Directory or Radius server, you can use both. So we will make authentication local database, local database. So here I think we will get the name of the, just a minute. You will save. So now the portal is done, but take care that there is still a change need to be done through the interface, because I have put it to be a DHCP. We need to make it a static IP address and give it a name. So just a minute and wait. Here I am logging in with the local user of the firewall, because there is some setting that I can't change it with the Active Directory, or some setting didn't appear for me with the Active Directory user account. Sorry, to create users we need to be with the local firewall user. Here we will create a user and name it test. This user will be used by the guest to access the internet through the captive portal. So here we make it as test and give it a password. This is the username that we will give it to the guest or the laptop, so he can connect to the internet through the captive portal. Okay, this is the username and password, and then we will make a little change, or we will tell him this user will be able to see the captive portal only. Okay, on the firewall we will specify that this user only have rights to see the captive portal on the firewall, because you can give any user on the firewall any rights you need. He can see all of the firewall setting, but for this user we need him only to see the captive portal page. So then we will edit. Okay, and we will go here for the effective privileges. We need him to see the captive portal only. Okay, here we will tell him to service captive portal login only. We need to see the captive portal page. Okay, as I said before, we will download a pre-made or a template for the captive portal. We will use it in our firewall. Okay, here this is the website. Sorry guys, this is the website that we will download the template of the captive portal page. This is the website. Here we will clone or download, and then we'll download it is a folder contains all of this files. Okay, and then we will use it to be our captive portal login page. Okay, okay, we will take it and unzip it. It's zipped. he will put it, this folder is shared between my host and my guest, okay, with my laptop and with my virtual machine. So now I will unzip it and then use it in the captive portal. We will tell the firewall to use this HTML files to be the captive portal. Here we will go to the services and the captive portal and then edit this portal, and we will tell him to use a custom login. Here is the option custom login page. Here we'll enable to use custom captive portal, and we will, after we enable this option, it will show us or give us the file to be chosen or the file to be used. Sorry, just a minute. Sorry, again. Sorry, here again. Just a minute. We will see that in a moment. Here we will go to, here we will choose the enable captive portal, okay, enable captive custom portal, and here we will choose the login page. Here it will be the portal page. This is the one, okay, and then there is an error, authentication error. If there is a problem with the password and the username, this is another HTML file. We will choose it. This will be the we will choose these two files. Just a minute. Here we will choose the file, okay, to be the error here. This is the authentication error here. This is the one. We will choose it for the authentication error, for the error, okay, and then for the logout we will choose the logout HTML, okay. So now we have done all of the configuration of the portal page and the interface, but still there is an error in the interface. We need to change it, and we need also to enable the HCP on our newly created interface. So I think still I need to do something else. I will shut down the firewall, okay. Okay, in next video we will see, okay, I just closing the domain controller, because I will do this in next video. Here we can see an error that should appear for us if you are using the VM Workstation Pro. Sometimes there is an error that appears here. This is the error. Sometimes if you have something, this is the virtual disk for the firewall. We have already assigned a disk which is 20 gigabyte for this virtual machine, which is acting as a firewall. Here he says that it is fragmented, okay, so you need to fix. There is an error with this virtual disk. You need to fix it. So we will see how we can fix this error. We will go to edit virtual machines, and we will go to the hard disk, and then we defragment, okay. This will be after it finishes. So this is finished. So this is the first video. We will continue. Just a minute, I will continue with this video also.